Good morning, YouTube world. Sorry for the pause. Hope my camera's not too hazy. I want to start out this morning by saying it's an honor to speak to you guys out there. Thanks for tuning in. Whoever did, who didn't, well, I can't do anything about that. But here we go. I want to start off by saying the first thing I want to get off my chest this morning is the fact that we scream, and I'm talking about black people. I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm not talking about Muslims, nobody else. I'm talking about black folks, the African diaspora worldwide. Now we talk about white supremacy being the reason for us lacking and not having, and because of the positions that we're in. I'll say this is the first thing I'll say. You cannot have a free people if the country they are from are not free, or is not free. It's plain and simple. We want to be free in the world, but Africa is not free. That doesn't equate. That doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The reason the Indians, the Chinese, the Italians, and all those people can travel worldwide and do what they want, how they want, is because their country they are from is free. Okay? The country sits and makes decisions on a world level. African countries don't do that. They have to go through channels, they have to go through people. So Africa does not make decisions like how Italy and France and those places make decisions. And also Africa does not back the diaspora worldwide. So we have an issue right there. That's one. With that being said, I'll put that to the side. Issue number two. I hear I'm not an American citizen. I'm abreast to I pay attention to certain things. One of the things I was really paying attention to is the fact that all the unnecessary lynching was going on in America. Trayvon Martin and all those guys, Mike Brown and all those guys. And what I noticed, and I hope other people notice as well, it started to trickle down throughout the Western Hemisphere. Okay, but mostly in the Netherlands. And I am from a colonized island under Holland. So I'm from St. Martin. So we're colonized by the Dutch. So I started to see in Holland that the Dutch police officers began doing the same thing that the American officers were doing. So there you go again now. You have in America people being shot, beaten to death, doing all these things, and then it started to trickle over in more in the West. In the western area known as the Western Hemisphere, whatever it's called. So now you have, only God knows how bad it is. When one guy was also beaten to death in the Netherlands, okay, while he was handcuffed. So there we go. Now if Africa was able to make decisions, as I said before, the situation would not have been the way it is today. Because Africa could have simply said, hey, stop this, or we do this. Africa does not own its own resources. We all know that. That's nothing new. But the fact that it doesn't own the resources shows that it cannot make worldwide decisions. Because if Africa had control of its own resources, the diaspora worldwide would have been properly protected, and they would have been revered and feared. Because number one, basically every country in the world gets stuff from Africa. The problem is the African governments do not own or do not run anything, so they cannot make decisions. So that's something we have to look into. That's something we need to change. Okay? Going back now to people getting shot, choked off, beaten by the police officers in America. We start screaming Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Dr. Umar Johnson was petitioning, trying to raise money to build a school for black boys. Now, if our lives had mattered, Dr. Umar Johnson would have bought that building he wanted to buy it already. Here's what we do as black people. We talk. We talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk. You see? We have students in America scared to come out of their dorm room because the Ku Klux Klan and white students threatening to kill them. Do we need media attention for that? No, we don't. We need to create the media attention. We need to create the media attention. How can we create the media attention? One thing I will say before I go to that point, I find it very disappointing that all the student athletes in America, the black student athletes that are generating billions and billions, almost close to trillions of dollars for colleges, don't realize that the college needs them. They don't need the college. You understand? I understand about education is key. I understand that. I respect that. But in this case, the college needs you and to generate money. So why must it be in Mizzou black students are afraid to stand up for their rights? You understand me? But white children can burn, vandalize, and do all these things to property which black people get in trouble for when their team loses a game. But me as a black person, I will stop saying black person, me as part of the African diaspora in the world cannot stand for inequality on a school campus. I get threatened. Excuse me. You know, the students, the African diaspora, the students that are playing for colleges and making them billions and billions of dollars need to step up. You need to join forces and come together and say, if things don't change now, we boycotting college sports. We're boycotting it. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have to understand, right? Not because you're playing at a college and you're not getting that same treatment, that doesn't mean students who are not athletic are not getting that treatment. Okay, we need to start understanding that they give star treatment to people who bring in money for them. If you're not bringing in money, you're not going to get star treatment. That's why you're the student athlete. Okay? But then again, all lives matter. You see? Excuse me, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. But yet children can't come out of their dorms because people are threatening to kill them. Forget about CNN. Forget about Fox. Forget about CBS. We know these are things we know. We know these entities would not broadcast these stories. We know that. So we need to stop wanting them to do so. Okay? There is enough outlets where we can create our news. Where are the black journalists that are getting up, making going out there, making these stories and bringing them out through the world, through the internet? We need more of that. We need these student athletes to get on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is, post every single thing and send it out worldwide. We can't wait for Fox. We can't wait for CBS. It would not come. And if they do bring it across, they'll bring it across in a manner where the African diaspora is being blamed for some kind of action. Okay? So we need to understand that. We need to get that in mind. Now, if Black Lives Mattered, why hasn't Dr. Umar Johnson bought the property to build a school for young black boys? Why? Why can David Beckham have a issue with his wife, cheat on his wife, but yet don't have any problems. People love him to death, but he's a cheater. Tiger Woods does it, it's a problem. Where am I going with the story? Look what happened to Dr. Umar Johnson. And because of that, you're telling me this man who dedicates himself to trying to build a school to help young black men, okay, or young African men in America to be different, to come out different than what they are expecting or what they think is they are going to amount to. He doesn't have at least $20-30 million in an account put away. Here's what I would say about that situation. If I would judge Dr. Umar Johnson because he slept with a woman or because he had relations with a woman, if that is the only case we are judging him on, then I say to everybody out there in the African diaspora, we are petty. We are petty to the bone. Okay? Petty to the bone. What is more important? Him having relations with a woman or him building a school? If we give Dr. Umar Johnson $30 million, he can set up a school for boys, girls, and maybe even get something for children who didn't finish high school. I'm not saying he should, but I'm saying this is what we could do. How many black teachers in America don't have jobs? And we need to sit back and think, but we need to sit back and listen to the idea and the precepts that is coming out of his mouth, because he's correct. We're gonna have a school and we're gonna have black teachers, no homosexuals, no mixed marriages. We don't need that. In white private schools, I sure bet you don't see a bunch of mixing and matching. Okay, this is not about a hate of a race or anything. This is way past that. This is establishing something for you. Okay, so now I'm saying if we give Dr. Umar Johnson $30 million, and then out of the blue he can't explain where that $30 million went or disappeared, or he hasn't been doing what he said he would be doing, then we can hold him accountable. Don't hold a man accountable for one relation with a woman. Oh, but he said he was celibate. He said, okay, no problem. No problem. No problem. Did David Beckham admit he was cheating? No. How did we find out? How did the world find out? How did they find out? Because the woman sold her story. But we can accept David Beckham, okay, because he's white, basically. But we can't accept Dr. Umar Johnson trying to build something for us to have a legacy. And that's the thing. We need to build our legacy. We need to establish something. We were taken out of Africa. Everybody knows that. That's nothing new. But we need to create our legacy outside of it as well. Okay? Imagine imagine all the teachers and professors we have, the black professional teachers, the African professionals we have in America. Imagine us starting schools with our own money. Imagine starting schools where we have the say as to what the curriculum will be, how the curriculum should be, and what we expect this school to teach our children. Imagine that. This is what we need to do. Sit down and start imagining that. Okay? Now, is white supremacy to blame for our lack today? No, it's not. I'm telling you straight up, white supremacy is not to blame for where we are today anymore. Okay? because the information has been out there for a very long time about white supremacy and what it does, and the agenda of white supremacy. But on the other hand, there's been countless information out there about how we can counteract white supremacy. It's like voting for a politician for basically all your life, or voting for a particular political party for all your life, and you see no change, but you're voting. After a while, we cannot blame the political parties, we cannot blame the politicians, we cannot continue to blame white supremacy when the answers to all our questions are laying right in front of our face and we are not grabbing hold of them. How is it a people with a buying power of close to trillions of dollars a year have nothing? It's simple. Because we don't want to have nothing. You see? We don't want, we refuse to put our money where it's supposed to go. You understand? We refuse to put our money where it's supposed to go. Christmas is coming up. Oh, the beloved Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. All these fancy days are coming up. You see? So now everybody's trying to. They ain't harassing blacks anymore. You know, you're getting a little trickle down here, trickle down there. Oh, but they realize, wait a minute. If we continue to do this throughout these months, we will have hell to pay. So now it's subsiding, all the police brutality. Now you're seeing all of a sudden they're tackling white folks. You know what I'm saying? But they got the stuff going on the cover, on the campuses or whatever the case may be. They have those things going on, but they ain't making it broad as before. Because they know if we do this and the people get abreast to it, that means come around these times they're not spending any money. It is about your power and your willpower. That's what this war is about. You're spending power and your willpower. Okay? The will to make the right decisions with your spending power. That's what this war is about. This war is about keeping Africa in debt. When Africa is in debt, black people worldwide, the African diaspora worldwide will continuously be in debt. Only the ones they choose to give money to and discuss what you have to do with your money. This is things we all know. But I just had to let it off my chest because I'm embarrassed as part of the African diaspora that we talk the talk, but we are not walking the walk. When will we begin to walk the walk? When? This is not about black and white and no. We need to come off of that horse. We need to focus on us as a people. And at times we have to let people go. We have to let people go on the side. You see, and as we pick up steam, then we start to pick and choose who we want. Because if you're not with us from before, what's going to make a difference when you come with us now? See? So we go through all these motions. Listen, we got people can hardly buy food to eat, but cable is paid. Netflix is paid. Your internet is paid. Like I said before, what you doing with cable? If everybody in I won't even call it ghetto, rural areas, okay, where they have housing developments, and most of those places you put black and Hispanics, most of them, right? If all those people in those areas decide we don't want any cable and focus your money on building your community, in 2 years time your community will be completely different. All it takes is for you to stop paying cable. That's it. That's it. You don't need no cable. You keep your internet because your children need the internet for school or whatever the case may be. You can connect with people, you can network with the internet and stuff like that. Okay. But cut out cable. Cut out cable. You'll have money enough to put aside. And before I leave, I want to say this. I can't understand to this day why we would judge Dr. Umar Johnson based on what happened to him. We need to stop looking for gods. What I mean by that is we need to look for men. Men that can lead. But men make mistakes. The only problem we have in this world today is that being part of the African diaspora, whenever we look to do something good, our mistakes will be more highlighted than anybody else. Okay? You can't tell me there are white men out there or Asian men out there who are not sleeping with women and saying they don't have any girlfriends and they have. Or saying we don't do those things but they're doing it. But we would not see it. It's plain and simple. The fact of the matter is Dr. Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, is trying to build something that will last for a lifetime in America. I'm not an American. I support his cause. You understand? I understand where he's coming from and where he's going. I can see it. If I can see it and I'm not American, why are the Americans not able to see it? Why are they not able to understand what is going on? Like I said, if you can go out for Christmas and spend trillions of dollars in the space of a week, take half of your money that you're spending for Christmas. I'm not saying to not enjoy your family time, no problem. But let's get away from buying unnecessary stuff for Christmas. Let's get away from, if you want to celebrate Christmas, celebrate it in a manner where you learn something from it. I think if we celebrate Christmas in a manner where we're learning something from it and enjoying that moment with our family, Christmas would be much more appreciable for the family. Stop spending money because you are trained to spend money. You don't have to spend the money. No matter how low they drop the prices, you don't have to spend the money. You don't have to get your son or your daughter the latest stuff out there. You don't have to. Take the money, put it into a just cause. Because I can guarantee, if we gave Dr. Umar Johnson more money than he needs, we can hold him accountable. Let's hold him accountable for his actions that he's saying, this is what I want to do. Let's hold him accountable for that. Let's give him all the money he needs and more to build a school. And not even one, to build 3, 4 schools. To buy properties that will enable us to build schools. And to employ black people. And to build a black economy. I know I said I wasn't going to stop using that word, but it just fits right now in the sentence. It fits better. So I'm sorry. I do apologize. But when we do this now, we sit with him and we say, Dr. Umar Johnson, we will hold you responsible for giving you this money because you're telling us this is what you will do. We believe in your cause and we see it is necessary. Okay? This is all it takes. This is all it takes. We need to see a plan of action. We need to see this. We need to see that. We need to see the intangibles before we give you this money. And hold him to that. Because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. The money he has now think he was saying maybe 500,000. I don't know if it went up to 750,000. I don't know. If he goes to Africa with that money, he would be able to start building a school. And then tomorrow, when the school is erected and standing strong and building young, brilliant, smart, educated young black boys in Africa, you know what's going to happen? This is exactly what's going to happen. People in America are going to say, Dr. Umar Johnson is an American and he went to Africa to build a school. We would forget that he stood and he asked and he asked and he asked and he asked for people in America to help him out. He's asking for us, well, mostly in America, but he's everybody, for us to help him to help us, and we are refusing. So it goes to show, it shows a lot where our mentality is right now at this point in time. So do I blame white supremacy? Not anymore. Not anymore. Can't blame white supremacy anymore for that. That's our actions, not theirs. You know, so with that, I would like to say, my name is Giovanni Williams. Don't be a dream chaser, be a dream creator, because nobody's going to create your dreams for you. Have a good one, folks. Thank you.